Hello, what is up guys? It's Evil Duosarm here today, back with another Blade and Soul video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a few things you can do to prepare for your new Archer class that hopefully releases sometime next month. So typically the Archer class, or the new class in Blade and Soul, is released in the middle of September. It's been that way for like every single class before this. And with this event ending on September 17th, you probably have an Archer either coming out September 18th or maybe October at the worst case scenario. At any rate, you're going to want to be doing things to prepare for the Archer class so that when it comes out, if you want to main it or if you want to reroll, if you want to switch to it, you can jump right in and be ready to go. So real quick, before we start going through the things on this list, if you are new to the channel, new to Blade and Soul, enjoying the videos on the channel, please consider subscribing as it does mean a lot to me. And without further ado, let's get into it. And let's get started with the very first thing, and that is just going to be resealing all of the gear from your current character and sending it over when the Archer comes out. Obviously, this is for people that A, want to spend money on the game, because this is not free to play whatsoever, and B, don't want to farm any additional materials to have like a second character. They just want to play one character in Blade and Soul, and that's it, and that's be done with it. Or they have another alt that they geared once but don't play it anymore and want to switch all that gear over to the new character that's coming out, the Archer. And this involves the use of resealing charms. So if you open up the Hongwen store, navigate to the Endcoin tab, and in the search bar at the top, just type in Sealing and hit enter. That's going to bring up these two entries. We have the Brilliant Sealing Charm Fragment, as well as the Brilliant Sealing Charm Fragment times 11. So for the majority of things you're going to want to send over, you're going to need 10 of these fragments, so you might as well just go with the big boy over here and get 11 if you plan on sending stuff over, even though there's really the one that you're not going to have a use for. So what do these things do? How do they work? So some items that you want to mail over to your other characters require you to use these like the outfit delivery stamps. Basically, you add them in as to what you're mailing over, and it tells you how many of them you'll need. Other things require you to turn them into the actual charm itself, the Brilliant Sealing Charm that you see the processed goods right below, and you'll need the 10 of them to do this. So what types of things can be sent over using these Brilliant Sealing Charms and the Sealing Charm Fragments? If you open up your inventory and navigate to your weapon, or any item on your inventory, and for this example we're going to use the Zoransu Pistol Stage 9 that I have. So, if you look at the below the gem section on this weapon, and it says this weapon is imbued with the power of Zoransu, and you scroll down the list or look down the list a little bit, below Unable to Trade, you will see Reseal Available. So if it says Reseal Available, then you can reseal this, turn it into a box, and mail it over to any one of the characters on your account. When it arrives to the new character, it will basically, you open it up and it'll give you a weapon that is specific to the class. I do not know if the gem slots transfer over. It might start you back at 3. I'm not 100% certain. But if you don't want to go through the hassle of upgrading a weapon over and over again through the different tiers, if you already have a high stage 1 on a character you don't play anymore, this is an excellent option here. Other things that can be done in this manner are things like your soul. So if you look at the soul, you scroll down to the advanced evolution material, blah, 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 and then below, Unable to Trade, once again, it says, mailing this item to another character in your account requires 10 Brilliant Sealing Charm Fragments. So this is the type of item that you put this in the trade menu, and then you also put the Brilliant Sealing Charm Fragments in the mail menu when you mail it over to the other character. Now, if you look at my pet doesn't have anything listed underneath that advanced tab. It just says Unable to Trade. If we go to the Manage Equipment and look at the next stage up, it does say Reseal Available. You could put the resealing charm on it and mail it over. So only certain stages of different things can be resealed. So if you want to know if you're close to a stage break, if yours doesn't have that listing there, hit the equipment upgrades paths and you can scroll and hover over any of them. For example, the Ultimate Pet Oro Stage 2 requires 10 Brilliant Sealing Charm Fragments to be able to mail it over. So that's one method of gearing the Archer. Send all of your gear over from one character to the next. Alright, so the next few things we're going to cover are pretty common knowledge as far as Blade and Soul goes. So these are really basic things, but I do want to make sure that I cover them so that you are aware in case you weren't. So if you navigate to your vault or your inventory and you look through it, you want to look for an icon that either is this little person icon or the little balance icon. Both of these icons mean that you can trade it between your character. The balance icon means you can sell it to other players. But if it has either of these icons, you can trade it to your characters. So why is this important? You have things like upgrade materials that are used to upgrade your weapons and your accessories. Those are all bound to account. So you can send them over to your new character just by placing them in the mail option, which is the same thing I was talking about before. If you wanted to like mail your soul or your weapon over, you put it down here, you just click on it, and then you can mail it to any one of your other characters on your account. Just type in the account name or the character name and hit send. But back at looking at the vault, we have a lot more things besides this. We have things like the legendary jewels and elements that are used to upgrade weapons specifically. Divine Greystones that you can use to fuse your soul badge and make your fused soul badge, which is a huge damage spike for a lot of classes. You have your Imperial cores and your Helion cores, which can be used to purchase accessories, which are really, really useful. Legendary gem hammers can be sent over, other upgrade materials, Hive Queen wings to buy your Zoransu Soul Shield set if you've been stocking up on them, Hive Queen hearts to upgrade the Zoransu weapon. there are a ton of different items. We've got down here, I didn't even bring them up, but Sacred Vials and Pet Packs. There are a whole bunch of different things you can mail over to your characters to improve your gameplay experience. So these Healing Cores and Imperial Cores specifically, why you'd want to mail those over, if you navigate to the Exchange Merchant Jinsore, look at the Legendary tab, you will see you can buy a whole bunch of different Legendary accessories for these Healing Cores. And a lot of them just let you take them straight up and get to work with them. Things like the King's Gloves that are already at stage 1, or the belt that's already at stage 1. So you don't even have to do any additional upgrading, you just get an instant upgrade to your character. Another huge one that you can send over are Bloodstones, which are gotten from PvP. The Bloodstones are how you unlock Hongmoon skills, which ultimately gives you more points to distribute. Into the Talents menu, specifically this Talents menu, it lets you get more points to increase the damage of your stats, so huge damage bonuses are available for transferring over these different items that you probably have a surplus of on your characters. So now to touch on Soul Shields in a bit more detail, we did mention that you can mail over these Hive Queen wings to get Soul Shield pieces. So you send over the Hive Queen's wings to your character that you want to gear, head on over to the Exchange Merchant and pick up the different Soul Shield pieces right off the bat. You could spend a bunch of time farming these in Moon Refuge or running the actual raid itself to get them, but this just lets you pick it up pretty much immediately. As soon as the character comes out, you can have your round 2 Soul Shield set. Elaborating on that further, we do have the Soul Shield Primers. So Soul Shield Primers, it's got the legendary ones here, but the Masterworks as well as the Artisanal Soul Shield bases that you can just purchase on the marketplace. You can see you can buy them right here on the marketplace, but basically these items, you can mail them over to other characters and get immediate stat upgrades when your character does go out. The next thing we're going to talk about is going to be the Skybreak accessories, the Skybreak ring, as well as the Skybreak earring. Both of these items can be farmed from Moon Refuge if you want to go through that grind on your main character, or you could just stockpile the boxes that drop from Skybreak Spire themselves because they are account bound, so you can mail over the accessories as soon as your character goes live, which is pretty cool. This is a new thing that was added since the Warden. Now we are probably pretty close to these items being added in as quest rewards though, since that content is really being phased out hard, but hey, never know, you might still need to do this when the patch goes live. Next on our list are going to be soul badges. So soul badge chests are account bound, which means that if you have a surplus of solar energies from running your dailies every single day, you could buy your soul badge chest, or even if you have enough for 2, you could buy 2 of them, mail them over to your new character, get things like the Divine Greystones that you can also mail over to your character since they are account bound, and immediately have a fused badge as soon as the patch goes live on the new Archer, which would be pretty cool. Now, not only the ones from the Dragon Express are account bound, you can get a whole bunch of different ones. Anywhere you can get a soul badge chest, it's account bound, so you can mail it over to other characters. So another really easy one, or really obvious one, and that is going to be gems. Your gems are bound to account, so you can send them over to the different characters on your account. So when you create the new Archer, you can send them over literally as soon as you make the character at level 1. Well, I guess like level 6 by the time you can get to Bamboo Village and access your mail. But you'll be able to get these gems, add them to your character, and use them. It actually might be level 15 before you can use the mail feature. At any rate, it takes like 10 minutes to get to that at this point, and then you can put these gems on and get stupid attack power. The final thing we're going to look at are going to be EXP charms. So if you open up your inventory, navigate over to the Transmute tab, and if you look at the very top, you will see that you have 2 options for Sparkling Hongmoon EXP charms. These are bound to account, you can mail them to your character, and they are worth 5 million EXP each. They're also really freaking expensive, so if you have a boatload of gold and you really want to play this Archer, you can make a bunch of these and send them over to the Archer class. But another one that not a lot of people know about is if you head over to Moon Refuge, or if you go to the Dragon Express and scroll down to the bottom of the Solar Energy tab, or in Celestial Basin, any one of the 3 places, there is an item called the Eminence EXP Charm. The Eminence XP Charm can only be used from HM level 1 through 14, and it gives you 1 million EXP. So you saw it for solar energies only cost like 5 solar energies, so you could basically get 1 of these a day on every single character that you have. You can also get them for 30 Moonlight Buds, which only takes a few minutes over in Moon Refuge to pick up, and Celestial Basin is 3,000 peaches. So however you want to get these, you can get a whole bunch of them, stockpile them up, and use them to immediately take your character as soon as you hit HM level 1 up to HM level 14. Now, the reason you would do it as soon as you hit HM level 1 is because A, the EXP levels that you need there are a lot lower, but B, all of the experience that you get from the story now counts towards the higher HM levels. So by the time you actually finish the full-on story and do all the side quests and everything, you'll be a lot higher HM level than if you just waited until you finish the story to use the experience charms. So you want to use these as soon as possible to get the most use out of them. But anyway, guys, that is basically it for this video. These are all the things I can think of that you should do to prepare for a new class when it comes out. Get all these things stockpiled up and ready to go. Oh, it's Evil Do Us Harm. You're on YouTube. If you did like this video, if it does help you to prepare for your class, please leave a like, check out some of the other videos on the channel, and make sure you subscribe so you stay updated when new content comes out. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you at the next video. Peace.